This is the promise of love. There shall be seasons refreshing, sent from the Savior above. Showers of blessing, showers of blessing we need. Mercy drops around us are falling, but for the showers we plead. There shall be showers of blessing, precious reviving again, over the hills and the valley, sound of abundance of rain. Showers of blessing, showers of blessing we need. Mercy drops around us are falling, but for the showers we plead. There shall be showers of blessing, send them upon us, O Lord. Grant to us now a refreshing, come and now honor thy word. Showers of blessing, showers of blessing we need. Mercy drops around us are falling, but for the showers we plead. There shall be showers of blessing, oh, that today they might fall. Now as to God we're confessing, now as on Jesus we call. Showers of blessing, showers of blessing we need. Mercy drops around us are falling, but for the showers we plead.
All right, let's sing Amazing Grace. Let's shake hands with your neighbor. Tell them you're glad to be they're here. But at least tell them you can tolerate them being here. And let's fellowship together a little bit.
Page 57 if you need your hymn book.
You want the big book? Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me.
He's down there.
I once was lost, but now I'm found. But now I see what grace that taught my heart to fear, and grace my fears relieved. How precious is that grace appeared the hour I first believed. Too many dangers, toils, and snares I have already come. His grace that brought me saved us all, and grace will lead me home. When we
I enjoyed that. I told Eddie, back when I was a young Christian going to church here, Brother Charlie Elliott was the choir leader, and we sang that almost every Sunday night, Amazing Grace, and walked around and shook hands and fellowship. And when I went to basic training down to Fort Knox, I got there, I think, on a Friday. And Sunday, they let us go to church, and I was homesick. And the chaplain, he said, "Okay, fellas, we'll let you all sing anything you want to sing, but we're not going to sing Amazing Grace." He said, "All those hillbillies, or all you hillbillies that come out of Kentucky and West Virginia, that's all you know is Amazing Grace." And so I figured right then, if he don't like Amazing Grace, you must not have to be a Christian to be a chaplain in the Army. That's all I had to figure out. All right, we've got several people here with us this evening. We appreciate the Gross family being here. Casino Dam Road, the church, where Brother Luke Richmond is the pastor, and of course Jeff McNeely, that's Eddie and Teddy Ann's son, and his family. Good to have them, and several others. I'm sure here to support Brother Lucas as he comes to preach. Right now, we're going to ask
Brother Lucas's mom and dad and his brothers with us too, David, Valerie, and Nicholas.
I didn't know that was them, but I kind of suspected it. No, everybody needs a posse. All right, Amber and Lauren Gross, they're going to come and sing for us right now. Allison. I even wrote it down and messed it up.
I've been blessed. I know all these kids, even Michael and Nicholas, Allison and Lauren. Of course, I helped Allison when she was about yay big. So, I didn't think she was ever going to grow. But she finally took a growing spurt. She's turned out to be a right nice looking young lady. Very long, but we appreciate it.
While walking down a memory lane, a past so long ago, old Satan came right by my side, making me feel low. He brought up thoughts of hurt and pain when I had gone astray. He wanted to discourage me as I walked along life's way. He said, "You're undeserving, 'cause I know where you've been. I have a record of your life when you were bound by sin. I know your darkest secrets that you would never tell. What makes you think you don't deserve a place with me in hell?" Well, I heard the old accuser, and this was my reply. "You're right for all those things I've done. I sure deserve to die. My righteousness is filthy rags, my goodness is unclean. There's only one thing I can say to what you said to me. It's under the blood. Oh, praise His dear name. I'm not what I used to be. My life's been changed, not shackled by sin and shame. It's already gone. I'm happy reminding Him it's under the blood. Victory was given me when I was born again. He washed my stained and sinful past when I was bound by sin. No longer do I bear the marks that sin had brought my way. With happiness and peace of mind, praise God, I now can say it's under the blood. Oh, not shackled by sin and shame, it's already gone. I might be reminding him it's under the blood. What can wash away my sin? Nothing but the blood of Jesus. What can make me whole again? Nothing but the blood of Jesus. It's under the blood. Oh, praise His dear name. I'm not what I used to be. My life's been changed. Not shackled by sin and shame. It's already gone. I might be reminding Him it's under the blood. Oh, praise His dear name. I'm not what I used to be. My life's been changed. Not shackled by sin and shame. It's already gone. I might be reminding Him it's under the blood. When He moves among us, and all that He does, all of His mercy and all of His love. If the pen of a writer could write every day, even this world could never contain how I have been blessed. The warmth in the winter, the flowers in spring, the laughter in summer, and the changing of leaves, the food on my table, a good place to sleep, clothes on my back, and shoes on my feet. I have been blessed. Oh, and I have been blessed. God's so good to me. Precious are His thoughts of you and me. No way I could count them. There's not enough time. So I'll just thank Him for being so kind. God has been good, so good, and I have been blessed. Arms that will raise, a voice that can't talk, hands that can't touch, and legs that can walk, ears that can listen, eyes that can't see. Oh, I've got to praise Him as long as I breathe. I have been blessed. A father and mother who nurtured and raised, a brother and sister, and memories made. Our pastor to lead us, the altar to pray, stripes that can heal, the blood that can save. I have been blessed. Oh, and I have been blessed. God's so good to me. Precious are His thoughts of you and me. No way I could count them. There's not enough time. So I'll just thank Him for being so kind. God has been good, so good, and I have been blessed. We live in a country, the greatest on earth. Our flag stands for freedom and what it is worth. She stands in the harbor, Miss Liberty calls. All have gave some, but some gave it all for me to be blessed. He's my shoulder to lean on when I am down, the rock where he leads me when I'm overwhelmed, the place where he hides me under his wings. He's not just a song, he's the reason I sing. I have been blessed. Oh, and I have been blessed. God's so good to me. Precious are his thoughts of you and me. No way I could count them. There's not enough time. So I'll just thank him for being so kind. God has been good, so good, and I have been blessed.
That was a blessing. You did a great job. You girls, I'm real happy. I don't think Brother Lucas would mind if they preach or sing a couple more.
He plays guitar, he sings something.
All right, well, he can sing if he wants. That'd be fine with us. I'm going to ask him to come. I remember when I was first starting out preaching, if somebody held about an hour devotion, by the time it was over, I was a nervous wreck. So we'll get him on up here and let him preach. Brother Michael Lucas from the Fairview Free Will Baptist Church. Come on up, brother.
Acts chapter 4, let's see. Acts chapter 4. Well, that's a step, isn't it? Wow. Be careful when I come down that thing. I might break my neck coming down that thing. That's a far step, isn't it? Acts chapter 4, let's see. I do play the guitar, but I'm afraid if I start singing, this church will be cleared out. So that's why I left it to the Allison and Lauren to sing, because you don't want me singing. That's why I stick to the preaching and not the singing. I like to read one verse tonight, and then verse 12. Acts chapter 4, verse 12. Neither is there salvation in any other, for there is no other name under heaven given among men whereby ye must be saved. Let's bow our head and go to a word of prayer. Dear Lord, thank you for this day. Thank you for your many blessings. Give us, Lord, and thank you for the service we're going to have, Lord. Bless it, Lord. Anyone out here, Lord, doesn't know you as a personal Savior, I pray that they do before it's everlasting too late. And Lord, in Jesus' name I pray. Amen. I want to draw your attention to that verse. There is no other name under heaven given among men whereby you must be saved. And I was using my thoughts, thinking a little bit this week, this past couple of weeks. Christians, they look around, they look at you, and wherever a Christian should go, he should preach Jesus. Yeah. So that's why I want to use my thoughts in this evening, is preach Jesus. Yeah. Preach Jesus wherever you go. You say, preacher, I'm not a preacher. I said, well, yes you are. You've been saved, haven't you? Yeah. It doesn't matter. You still going to preach Jesus wherever you go. You should be able to shine your light enough that they should know that you're a Christian. You should be able to preach Jesus. They should know you talk to your lost person. They should know the first thing that's going to come out of your mouth. You want to come to church with them? You want to come to church? It should be. You should preach Jesus. Preach Jesus. You can preach Jesus to the lost. You can preach Jesus as a way to the lost. The Bible says, John 14:6 says, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh to the Father but by me. So you can preach him to the lost as a way to heaven. Preach Jesus. You can preach Jesus to the lonely. You can preach him as a friend that's sticking closer than a brother. To the lonely. I know one person that will never leave you will never leave you in your sight. That's about Jesus Christ. His Bible says, I will not leave you comfortless. I will come to you. I will come to you. He's not going to leave you comfortless, the Bible says. You can preach him to the lonely that haven't got nobody. You can tell him that you do have somebody that's still there. You can preach it to the lonely. Preach Jesus tonight. You don't have to be a preacher to preach Jesus. You don't have to be one. You can be out there in the workplace and still be able to preach Jesus to the people that you see. You can still preach Jesus to the people that you run into. It doesn't just have to be the lost people. You don't have to be a preacher to preach Jesus. You can preach him to the child. You can preach him as a father to the fatherless. You can preach him to the sick. You can preach him as the great physician. He's the only doctor I know that actually heal you from what you really need. He's the only doctor I know that can heal you from your sin sickness too. That's the only one I know. Man cannot save man. What is impossible with man is possible with God. You can preach him to the lost. You can preach him to the sick. You can preach him to the lonely. You can preach him to the child. The kids will sit there and listen to you if you just preach it to them. If you preach Jesus to them. That's what our kids need today, is to hear a little bit more about preaching Jesus. What's going on in our public schools, they need to sit and listen and preach Jesus. We need to have kids, my age and Allison and Lauren's age, that'll get up and preach Jesus to the people and the kids that are out there in the world. What's going on in our public schools is ridiculous. It is ridiculous that kids my age are going out there killing each other. Because there's no one that will take a stand and preach Jesus. Preach Jesus. You can preach him to those who are addicted. You can preach him as a deliverer from all that stuff. He is the great deliverer. He is the only one I know that will deliver you from what you're addicted to. You cannot fight the addiction alone. As you've seen that commercial, I've never seen that commercial on TV about this addiction. It says, hell, you can't fight addiction alone. I know you can. You need one person that will help you through that addiction. One person. That's Jesus Christ. You put him in your life and you put him in above all of your addiction. He will help you with your addiction. If you give your heart and life over to him and preach Jesus, he will help you through that. Preach Jesus. You can preach him to the brokenhearted. You can preach him as the one who heals the broken heart and mends the broken heart. There's a song that says, his heart was broken, mine was mended. His scars of suffering brought me healing. Preach Jesus. He can heal that broken heart. You can preach it to the man on his deathbed. You can preach him as the resurrection and life. You can preach him the man on his deathbed. Preach Jesus wherever you go. You just don't have to be a preacher. That's what gets people sometimes. Well, I'm not a preacher. It doesn't matter if you're a preacher. You're a Christian. The Bible says, let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven. People, and I'm telling you this, people are going to look at a Christian. They will look at you. So make sure your light is shining. So they know that you're a Christian. That's the sad thing today, that Christians are too scared to shine that light. They're too scared being out in the background of everything and want to hide. I tell you something, if you're a Christian, your light should be shining so much that they know you're a Christian. They should be able to spot you. It's sad that you go out in the world, you can't tell if you're a Christian. Because they ain't shining the light. I tell you one thing, I should go out and spot a fellow Christian. Just the way they act, the way they talk, and the way the lights shine. And they should be preaching Jesus. Preach Jesus. You don't have to be a preacher to be able to preach Jesus. You don't. Because you're put on this earth to do what God wants us to do. That's exactly what he wants us to do. Is spread the news like wildfire. I think Allison and Laura can take this from me. If something good news happens in Victory, it doesn't take long. It gets in every class, does it? If some student does something crazy, like I've done several things, they will laugh at me because I've done some crazy things in the school, and it's not long, and the whole school knows that. And and then they never let me leave alone. But you should spread the news just like that around. You have a lot of news to tell as a Christian. You have got a lot of good news to tell. And we should tell everybody we come across. We should preach Jesus. As a lost person, when they run into, they should know. The first thing, what's going to come out of your mouth. They should know. And don't let up on it. That's the thing. When you've done all that you can do to get them to come to church, when you've done all that you can do, just pray for them. Now it's in God's hands. But preach Jesus to the people. Preach Jesus. Don't be going out there and preaching some other crazy stuff that people preach about. Preach Jesus. You can preach it to the sinner. You can preach Jesus to the sinner as the Savior. Only man I know is going to save you from your sin. Only man. Nobody else can do that. I can't get up here and confess your sins. I can get up here and confess your sins. That's only on y'all. I can only do what I had to do. Jesus Christ is the only man I know that'll heal you from all this stuff. Preach Jesus. There is no other name under heaven whereby you must be saved. You've heard that song, tell his name again to me, Jesus. We need to practice saying Jesus. People don't say that word anymore. Jesus. As a Christian, that word should come out pretty often. Should. It's sad when Christians don't want to say it. Preach Jesus. Here's a good one. You can preach him to the church. You can preach him as Lord and Master. Lord and Master. I preached a message this morning of one of our church, what guys have, churches have in their congregation. There's a lot of judgmental people. A lot of judgmental people, and it's sad. They have a tendency to judge somebody before even getting known. Because people think sometimes they get themselves in trouble. That's what we think sometimes. You should preach Jesus to them. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Preach Jesus. And it's sad to say that we got a lot of judgmental in the church. And judgmental people. That'll just judge somebody that walks in the door. You didn't take time to know. Didn't take time to know. Didn't take time to get to know. And it's sad. Preach Jesus. How hard is it? You've been saved, you can preach Jesus. Simple as that. You don't have to be called to preach. You can go out in your workplace and run into somebody and start talking about the Lord. You don't have to be just a preacher. But you still preach Jesus to the people out there. Preach Jesus. See, there's too many churches out there now that want to preach some other things. They want to preach other different things. And you got to watch sometimes what you hear sometimes. Make sure it's the right thing. Make sure it is Jesus. Because the Bible says, beware of false prophets which come to you in sheep's clothing. I promise you they're going to try to knock you off your course. Because they don't preach Jesus. They want to preach it their way. They want to preach it in their own Bible. That's why you got so many different Bibles anymore. Because somebody had a different opinion about something. And wanted to change history. Let me tell you something. There's only one Bible I know. That's the King James Version right here that I'm preaching out of. That's the only truth there is. But this man that I'm preaching to you today will not lead you. You've seen friends and stuff that will get mad at each other and not never speak to each other again. Not this one. Not this one. He's still there. He's always there. And they say, oh, I can't find him. Well, look a little bit. He's there. I mean, look. Open your eyes a little bit, because look, Pop, he didn't know where he was. He was standing right there in front of him. That's what we are. We're blinded sometimes. We don't even see. We're trying to take control of our own life. We're trying to live our life while we're in control. You let God take the reins of your life. Let Him control it. Because let me tell you, you can't do it yourself. As simple as that, no one can do it themselves. You cannot go down that road without Jesus Christ being there with you. You will not be able to live your life if you're in control. You say, you're preaching too hard for us, right? I'm up here to preach the truth. And that's what I'm here to do. And that is the truth. And there's no easy way out. You cannot find Jesus Christ no other way but right here. Up here. They say they want to try to take the detours and the back roads and all this stuff up to him. Let me tell you something. You try to go down a detour and back road, you ain't going to find Jesus Christ down there. You ain't going to find him. Easiest way to is straight down the aisle. And I promise you, you're here to see me, and you don't know Jesus Christ and you're saved. I promise you, if you die without Jesus Christ, you will go to hell. That's simple as that. If you talk about the rich man and Lazarus, one man went to heaven, one man didn't. Because one man had his name written down in the Lamb's Book of Life. And you know where he went? He went to heaven. Because the Bible says he was carried by the angels. One man was buried. He didn't expect to go to bed that night and die the next morning. And lifted his eyes in hell. That's the sad thing. Too many people, even kids, they want to wait till the very last second of their life to be saved. Well, let me tell you something. You might not get that last second. And you don't have to be old to die. Look what's going on in the world now. Kids dying already. You better make sure who you're actually living for right now. Better make sure. You say, well, I'm not really sure if I am saved. Right? We can fix that. We can fix it this evening. Well, you can fix it this evening before you walk out the door. You say, I'm not real sure. I said, okay. Make sure. Make sure before you walk out the doors tonight. Make sure. And if you haven't even received him as your Savior, hey, what better place is it right now? What better place? You can be saved anywhere. You can be saved out in your car. You can be saved outside. You can be saved at school. Well, what better place is it than right here in the church? What better place is it right here at this altar? You know, you got troubles, you got pain, and you're lost. That's what this altar is for. That's what this altar is for. I'm here to say and to preach Jesus to you. I'm here to preach Jesus to the lost. I'm here to preach Jesus to the Christians. It doesn't matter how you preach as long as you preach Jesus. That's the only thing when you start preaching is you come out of your mouth of Jesus Christ. Now, I promise you, if you're lost, not just saved, and I'm telling you, don't you're risking your life right now. As we speak, you're cheating death. You're thinking you can do it all yourself. You think you got all the time in the world. Well, let me tell you something. You don't. You don't. The Bible says, behold, now is the day of salvation. It's not tomorrow. It's not next week. You're not guaranteed tomorrow. You're not guaranteed the next 5 minutes. You can walk out them doors and get killed in a car accident. It's unpredictable. Life is so fragile, you better handle it with care. I preached over to school. I said, a place for you. There's a place for all of us. It's either heaven or hell. That's the two places you're going to go to. You choose your place. You choose it. You choose your destination. God left us a free will. It's our choice. And you write the future of your life. You're the author of your future. You get to make a choice of where you want to end up. Preach Jesus. He's calling you this evening. Don't turn him away. Don't turn him away. Now's your chance. You can come on up. And I promise you, if you make that first step out of your aisle, the first step that you're sitting in, I promise you, God will carry you the rest of the way. He will carry you the rest of the way. He'll pick you up and carry you. And then the load that you're carrying will get lighter and lighter. The farther you get up here, the lighter the load will be. And when you get down there, when you come up, you're going to feel like a feather. You know why? Because the burdens have been lifted. The Bible says, greater love hath no man than this, than a man that will lay down his life for his friends. You ask me, that's a friend. That's a friend that took his life for us. You know, I've heard that song, God reached way down to the bottom to get me. When he was on the cross, that was on his mind. Preach Jesus. We need more people that will take a stand and preach Jesus today. We do. We need people that step out in the public schools and preach Jesus to the kids and the teachers out there. We need more people. We need good old-fashioned preachers that will preach in the church, because it's sad to say, after 100 years of service, it seems like churches are shut their doors. It's the dying churches of America. Churches are dying off. That's one place that should never go out of business. That's one place I believe that should never go out of business. Preach Jesus tonight. Sorry, that's easy. If you're lost, I tell him, preach Jesus to you. He's calling you. Don't turn him away. Don't turn him away. It could be his last time. Last time calling. Before it's everybody. And it's too late. And look at Noah. He warned them and he warned them and he warned them to get on. And they said, oh, we'll wait till it starts raining. And guess what? When it started raining, it was too late. It was too late then. Get yourself in that door, because I'll tell you one thing. When God shuts the door, it's shut. It's shut, because the Bible says that they didn't come out through the door and had to remove the cover, because that door was shut and it's permanently shut. Well, that door is still open tonight. It's open to anybody that wants to get in. Get in while you still can. I'm preaching Jesus to you. I'm preaching Jesus to you. That's what I'm here to do. I mean, if I offended somebody tonight, I'm sorry, but this is what I was here to do. And that's what I'm here to do, and I'm here to preach Jesus to everyone of you in here. And even as a Christian, you should be able to, they should know. And they should know that I'm a preacher. They should know by the way I talk, the way I look, the way I dress. They should know. They should know that. If they can't tell this evening, you get something checked out tonight. If they can't tell. For tonight, if you're lost, I'm telling you, Jesus Christ is there. He's got his hand out saying, come home, child. Come home. You don't have to live the life you're living anymore. Come home. Preach Jesus. With every head bowed, every eyes closed this evening. I'm here to preach Jesus. This is what I did. That's what I wanted to do. This is what I'm called to do. And I plan to continue in it. I'm here to preach Jesus, and I'm hoping that it was a blessing to you. But what the Lord's calling me to do is, if there's anyone out here, Lord, that's lost and doesn't know you, person saved you, just lift your hand up right back down. I promise I'm not going to point you out or embarrass you. I'm pretending to give the invitation, but just want to know, I'm going to pray for you. That's what I'm here to do. If there's anyone here like that, just stick your head up right back down. I promise. I won't point you out. I ain't going to embarrass you. Maybe you say, I'm a devout Christian. You say, I'm a devout Christian, but sometimes I need to be doing more than what I have been doing for the Lord. And I'm going to make that a choice tonight to start living for Him a whole lot more than I've been doing. You start to hand it right back there. I say, God bless the hand. God bless another hand. Hands all over the building. I thank you for allowing me to preach. Let's bow our heads and go to word of prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, Lord, I thank you for all that you've done and all that you're going to do. Lord, I thank you for the ones that raised their hand, Lord. I pray that you be with them, Lord, in this decision they have made, Lord. Lord, I also pray if there's anyone out here, Lord, that is lost, Lord, I pray that they come to see you before it's everlasting too late. I thank you for your love and your mercy you bestowed upon us. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Stand and sing 161. We're going to ask Brother Michael if he'd stand down here at the front. You don't have to be young. If the Lord is dealing with your heart, won't you come? If you are young and the Lord can still deal with your heart, we still invite you to come.